All right, Katie and I are about to hit the road back to Florida, and I have one more potential solve for Casey's treasure hunt. I feel like I've got to be close.
My name is John T. Ray, and I'm in Alabama celebrating my sister's wedding.
This is where we make our final stand.
While we're here, my sister has crafted an ingenious treasure hunt.
It's been taken, but I don't know if we're meant to take every line literally.
To find the treasure, we'll have to use all our wits and knowledge of the family farm to crack a masterfully written poem, all the while preparing for the wedding. It seems a monumental task for one weekend. Can we find the treasure of Kalita Valley? You are about to find out. Let's go on a treasure hunt. Friends and neighbors, welcome back to Central Florida. It's been a long time coming, but my sister and her longtime girlfriend Jennifer are about to get married. Myself, Katie, and Kaysen are preparing to drive up. We've been getting things together for the better part of the last week, but something we couldn't prepare for is the landlords finally want to fix the floors after the water damage. But we've got flowers, clothes, electronics, we've got everything we need. Almost packed into the vehicle. I've got a few more things to pack now, then I've got to go get the bitty boy. And then in 2 hours, we are setting out on the road towards Alabama to go celebrate my sister's wedding. We've been looking forward to this, and hopefully everything goes smooth as butter. But it's not always the case with weddings, so we'll see how it goes. So, we're clearing the entire living room out to make way for the floors to be redone. Hopefully, things will be back in order by the time we get back. But we don't have time to think about that now. It's time to hit the road and make the 8-hour journey up to Millerville, Alabama to meet my family for my sister's wedding. Upon our arrival at the farm, there are a few things to do in preparation for the wedding, but very soon, Casey hands me a little piece of paper upon which is a mysterious note. Come on down where the red tide rolls, over fertile soil each peak rises. Lead, copper, zinc, graphite, and gold are some of the treasures here. Explorers must find their own way through this place less traveled. Trek along with hatchet to gauge the riches. At the end of the day, follow your roots. Venture to the place McGinnis choked the run. Although gentle, keep a gap between yourself and the bull. Leave McGee behind. Take Sherman Cliffs as your left-hand companion. Lower you go, less you see. Evaluate your situation. You are within sight of the farmer and his daughter. Yield has been taken. At the correct location, look up to look down. My sister Casey conceived this poem in the week preceding our arrival to the farm.
Over the last couple of weeks, I have been writing I guess I'm not really sure if we call it a poem, for John to try to solve, to find a hidden treasure, buried treasure. Mama came down this morning and said that the rain was supposed to be coming in a few hours, so I need to go ahead and get this thing buried before the rain comes in.
Come on down where the red tide rolls is obvious reference to the Alabama Crimson Tide football team. Leave McGee behind. McGee Mountain is just south of the property.
That is McGee Mountain.
And the line that reads, "Trek along with Hatchet to gauge the riches." Hatchet Creek runs through the property, and Gage, Alabama is a former town that sat right where this property is today.
I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but this part of Alabama we learned it used to be known as Gage, Alabama. Let's see if John can figure out the clues to uncover the secret of Kalita Valley, Alabama.
The poem is masterfully written and includes lots of references to this property. However, for the moment, we have something else to do: bachelor activities. And because we did the awesome no speed limit go-kart racing last year for Charlie's wedding, I figured we needed something equally as adrenaline pumping this year. So we're off to play paintball.
Charlie's given us his worldly wisdom
for all the years that I've been married.
And what is that, 8 year? You mean?
Yeah, y'all just celebrated 1 year this past year.
For all the 1 year you've been married?
A year and a couple months, so we're in the 2nd year of our marriage. So marriage is like a video game.
What kind of video game?
You can go through life playing solo, but it's much more fun playing co-op.
You realize there are video games that don't allow co-op, and there are also video games that don't allow single player.
Yeah, about that.
Well, I'm talking about
And what if the game that you're playing is Mortal Kombat?
Well, the game of life is either single player or co-op.
You talking about the board game?
No.
You can't play the board game by yourself. That'd just be redundant.
Or can you?
Yeah, you can, but you just slide into the retirement home and there's no competition value.
Unless you play as somebody else.
So you play against yourself? Is that an analogy for masturbation?
I think so, yeah.
You just masturbate your way through life?
You can work together to make the game much more fun and beat it quicker.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Beat it quicker?
Yeah.
Are you saying that marriage puts you in an early grave?
No.
That's what it sounded like.
That's what it sounded like to me.
No, beating it is like retirement, getting more money
back with the masturbation jokes.
Yeah, but beating it typically means the end of the game. Does marriage have DLC?
Do you get extra lives?
Yes. And you can replay the game over and over.
If you're playing co-op, are you doing it online? Do you have to have Wi-Fi?
No, you're playing next to each other.
It's
When you
local
die,
co-op?
do you start from the beginning or from your last save point?
Yeah, or is it an insta-death system? And does that mean your partner has to finish the game by yourself?
It's like World of Warcraft. You don't die, you just get respawned.
That's an MMORPG, so that means that everybody in the entire world is involved in your marriage.
Central Alabama Paintball Park is where we were having Casey's bachelorette party. The staff there was friendly, the fields were wonderful, and the game was fun. Our first match was pretty simple, every man for himself. Charlie got taken out pretty quick. Casey and I played a little game of cat and mouse before she eventually took me out. Following our first 2 matches, a lot more people showed up, so our next couple of matches were 8-on-8 team matches. Charlie, Casey, and I managed to stay on the same team, and Charlie and I's goal was to protect the bride.
We're working as a team, right? Yeah. We don't let anybody sneak up behind us. You good?
We're gonna pin him down.
Building up here, but that made it around.
They're moving into this building right here. Oh God.
Where are they at? Are they up close?
I'm gonna Leroy Jenkins my way up in this building right here.
Okay.
We need a medic, he's been shot.
Did my head get hit? What? Did my head get hit? No. I felt the graze. Oh, it's 3 against 1?
At the moment I got taken out, I happened to look back and notice Casey was the only one left on our team. It was her versus the 5 or 6 left on the other team.
She's behind the. She's behind the taxi. She's pinned down.
She's just gonna run the clock down. She ran the clock out.
We went on and did another battle with varying success. At the end of that, Charlie and Casey were all out of ammo. Only I had ammo left. So we split my ammunition between the 3 of us and went in for one last stand.
Casey and Charlie and I have divvied out the last of my bullets. This is where we make our final stand. Oh, come on, woman. I got her. I think I got her. Oh, God. All right, mine is getting low.
You ready to run for it?
Hang on.
Around that word at.
Someone, I think, is right here.
One of us go this way and one of us go that way.
Yep, there's one of us right here behind this thing. But they're within 15 feet. That was almost a headshot. I have exactly three shots. Gotta make them count. Next question is, where's Charlie? We didn't make it. We got shot. No, no, hey, whoa, we're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. I might have had a little more than 3 shots left.
Playing paintball for the first time was a lot of fun, and we will definitely be back to do it again. But now it's time to reset our sights on finding the treasure of Kalita Valley.
This is the spot where Gage, Alabama used to be. And if I'm not mistaken, the marker for Gage is right in here somewhere.
The lower you go, the less you see. Evaluate your situation. You are within sight of the farmer and his daughter. Yield has been taken. At the correct location, look up to look down. Now, this may be wrong, but my theory right now is that we have the yield signs here on the bridge.
But it says yield has been taken.
Yield has been taken, but I don't know if we're meant to take every line literally. Yield has been taken. The lower you go, the less you see, and look up to look down. If you're down, you go further down off the patio up there, you're not going to see it. Also, look up to look down. Look up there, and that's where you look down. Is my working theory. Let's go find out if it's true.
You know, the only problem I'm now having is you can't see Mom's house from here.
You see the generator shed, but
You
not
can see the
actual-
shed. Maybe you can see Mom's property.
Oh, so it's actually buried.
Yeah, she said she buried it, but she was in a rush.
It seems as though our first solve is a bust. The location fills some of the criteria, but not all of it. We continue to mull over the lines of the verse, even considering for a moment that 2 scarecrows might be the farmer and his daughter.
Venture to the place where McGinnis choked.
I had been so sure that my first solve was the correct one. Turns out I might not have as good a handle on this verse as I thought I did.
Let's see here. Good job, Peanut. I'm proud of you. Good job, buddy.
Daddy, I didn't fall down on the water.
You didn't fall down on the water. You're so good.
I feel like
That
we
could
should go.
just mean that Mom and Papa can see us, even.
Well, I feel like the further you go, the less you
has
see,
been
which
taken.
means that the further you go that way,
Daddy,
the less they can see of you.
Daddy, this on my hip.
But it's also a double meaning because you're following your roots from your parents to your grandparents, so you're going further. Although the family tree usually starts with the youngest at the bottom
And goes.
and goes up.
Where's the starting
Oh,
point?
I see where you're going now, John.
Looking up the
at
family tree.
as you go down.
Charlie Ray's thinking hard. You see him over there standing, thinking hard.
The night continues to wear on. It gets darker and darker as we continue to try more and more theories, but none of them are panning out.
So if you step right here, you can feel where the dirt has been loose, and I've started digging and found like actual roots. So follow roots, but which way? See, because you can feel the roots right here,
Yeah.
like it's really loose. And I don't know if that's just from rain.
Was this you?
Yeah, this is me right here. Because see, this is like, I thought it was something right here, but it's like an actual tree root.
I'll be honest, I thought this was going to be a quick solve. We'd find the treasure today, do the wedding tomorrow, and then me and Katie and Kaysen would head back to Florida the day after that. But it's looking like I might not find the treasure.
You can't see Mom before.
But if you go down a little
With
further,
the last
you're-
bits of light fading, we decide to turn in. We have a wedding tomorrow after all, and the treasure hunt is going to have to be put on the back burner.
Okay, we're McGinnis Chuck the right. Yep. Reverend,
Good evening. How are you, sir? May God bless you.
Thank you.
Why don't you head toward the photographer?
yeah, that one. Hey, 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 hey.
Thank you all, everyone. We appreciate it.
Yeah, from the top. It's like an Ouija board. Smear the icing.
Susan.
Smear the icing. You do it at the same time.
Don't make a weird face! It's not poisonous, it's your favorite root!
It's okay, Jen, I'll just get you. Sometimes all it takes to figure something out is doing something different. With all the fun and joyous attitude of the wedding, my brain was working in the background and something suddenly clicked in my mind. With only hours left before it was time to head back to Florida, I had to try one last solve to find the treasure.
All right, Katie and I are about to hit the road back to Florida, and I have one more potential solve for Casey's treasure hunt, and we're gonna walk out to the point that I think it might be, see if it's there. If it's not there, we might succumb to frostbite on the way back. I don't really have many clues to connect it to this place, but it's a spot we didn't really look. There's a lot of trees over there, and there was a lot of tree imagery in the poem. And I happened to, I don't know, I guess it was just my mind working idle in the background while we were doing the wedding the other day, but I happened to think that there was a line, and I don't remember exactly how it went, but the lower you go, the less you see. I think I actually nailed that just now.
I think so.
The lower you go, the less you see. And I thought, well, what if it's not necessarily you physically moving, but you looking lower and seeing less of something? And I thought, what about a fruit tree? The fruit would be up high, and the lower down you look, there'd be less fruit. Maybe a stretch. We're gonna go check out over here. I believe, what are these, persimmon trees?
It's a mix.
Persimmons and what else? Lemons. Oh, it's so cold, I can't even think. Whatchamacallit, Mount McGee? Sherman to the yeah, okay, you know. Follow your roots. These are a bunch of trees. Yield has been taken. That could still mean the yield from crops. A bunch of sticks laying right here. What? Oh, frickety frack. Frackety frack. Look up to look down. There's a single fruit in this tree. I feel like I've got to be close. I'm so cold, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Oh shit. Was it under these freaking leaves?
It popped right out at you there, didn't it?
Did I figure it out?
You figured it out.
Score!
Yeah, buddy. You found your egg. There is something in the egg.
Okay, let's go inside and I'll open it.
Okay.
My next thought would have been in this flat somewhere.
It was down under one of the persimmon trees. So
Why was the up is down and down is up then?
once you got there, it made sense. In the correct location, look up to look down, and there was one tree down there that had a single persimmon up by the top, and it was directly under that one.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
So look up to look down. I have not opened this yet.
You got your money.
Yay! Who'd you steal this from?
She straight up admitted to it. Kroger.
Money.
It's some monies. Do you want it? You want the monies?
Nope.
No? Okay. Good job, bud.
You sure is it?
Okay, so the treasure was $1 in a plastic Easter egg. Hardly a prize worth obsessing over. But the real purpose of any treasure hunt is to embrace the spirit of travel and discovery. It sounds cliche, but the journey is often much more important than the destination. If you create memories and broaden your horizons, you've still found a very valuable treasure. And that's what we did this weekend. We made memories, we had adventures, and we celebrated the love between my sister and her new wife. Well, folks, it's back to Florida for us, and back to dealing with grown-up issues like us not having a floor. But I think this new tradition of treasure hunts will continue to go on for years to come. Join us next time, folks, when something else is going to happen. Hey, it's me. Listen, the situation's gotten a little more dire. We can't wait any longer. It's time to hide the keys.